Reduction of aldehydes and ketones. The carbonyl group of aldehydes and ketones are reduced by common reducing agents like lithium aluminum hydride, sodium borohydride, etc. And reduction by using hydrogen in the presence of metallic catalysts like nickel, platinum, palladium. And there are two more reactions, that is carbonyl compounds are reduced by using other reagents. Now let us see the reduction by using common reducing acids. Reduction of carbonyl compounds by using common reducing acids. So CH3O, and this is in the presence of lithium aluminum hydride or sodium borohydride. This becomes CH3CH2OH. So this is acetaldehyde and this is ethyl alcohol. Acetaldehyde, ethyl alcohol. This is primary alcohol. Primary alcohol means carbon bearing functional group is connected to one more carbon atom. Now let us see the reduction of ketones. CH3, this is acetone in the presence of lithium aluminum hydride or sodium borohydride. We get CH3, this is CHOH. And the long chain has 3 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3. Alcohol group is present on second carbon atom. Therefore, it is isopropyl alcohol or propan-2-ol. This is propan-2-ol IUPAC name. This is secondary alcohol. Functional group is present on this carbon atom. Carbon bearing functional group is connected to 2 more carbon atoms. Therefore, it is secondary alcohol. Reduction of carbonyl compounds by catalytic hydrogenation. Catalytic hydrogenation. Say double bond O plus H2 in the presence of nickel, platinum or palladium, we get CHOH, alcohol. So aldehyde CH3CH double bond plus hydrogen in the presence of nickel, platinum, palladium, we get CH3HOH. So here there are only 2 carbon atoms, therefore it is ethyl alcohol or primary alcohol. Primary alcohol, ethyl alcohol, ethyl alcohol. And on the other hand, ketone, acetone plus hydrogen in the presence of nickel, platinum, palladium, we get CH3CHOH. This is the secondary alcohol. IUPAC name is propan-2-ol. Next method is reduction of carbonyl compounds compounds, reduction to hydrocarbons. Reduction to hydrocarbons. So aldehydes and ketones are reduced in the presence of zinc amalgam and we get respective hydrocarbons. So here CH3CH double bond, this is aldehyde plus 4 hydrogen atoms. This is zinc amalgam in the presence of HCl. Here zinc present in zinc amalgam reacts with the hydrogen chloride, that is hydrochloric acid, we get a nascent hydrogen. Therefore we get CH3 H2. What is this substance? This is nothing but ethane plus water. Similarly, if we take acetone, we get 4 hydrogens, and of course these nascent hydrogens are obtained from zinc amalgam and HCl. We get CH3CH2CH3 plus hydrogen. This is propane. And this reaction is known as Clemenson's reaction. Clemenson's reaction. So the reduction to hydrocarbons in the presence of zinc amalgam and hydrochloric acid, which produce nascent hydrogen, and of course the carbonyl group is reduced to alkane, and this reaction is referred as Clemenson's reaction. Now reduction to hydrocarbons by using hydrazine. What is the hydrazine? In the previous module we discussed the hydrazine is nothing but NH2, NH2. So here CH3 CH double bond O, and here NH2 NH2, and of course minus water, we get CH3CH double bond N NH2, and of course this is imine, and this is the presence of ethylene glycol and KOH. So this is the so formed imine is subjected to ethylene glycol and KOH, and of course at a high temperature we get CH3 CH2H. This is nothing but ethane. So here carbonyl group, that is aldehyde, is treated with hydrazine and we get respective hydrazone, but this hydrazone is treated with potassium hydroxide in the presence of ethylene glycol, we get respective alkane, that is ethane. Now we see the reaction with acetone, CH3 CH3. This is acetone in the presence of NH2, that is hydrazine, minus water, we get CH3. This is acetone, hydrazone. This in the presence of ethylene glycol and KOH, and of course at high temperature we get CH3 double bond. So here we get propane, CH3 CH2. This is nothing but propane, and this reaction we call it as Wolff-Kishner reaction. Wolff-Kishner reaction. So what is Wolff-Kishner reaction? Carbonyl compounds are treated with hydrazine, and the respective hydrazone is treated with potassium hydroxide in the presence of ethylene glycol, and at a high temperature we get respective alkane, and this particular reaction is referred as Wolff-Kishner reaction. Now let us discuss oxidation reactions. oxidation. Aldehydes and ketones both are oxidized in the presence of common oxidizing agents like acidified potassium dichromate, acidified potassium permanganate, nitric acid, etc. And acids are formed. KMnO4, K2Cr2O7, nitric acid, etc. So this is CH3CHO plus nascent oxygen supplied by oxidizing agent KMnO4 H plus, and we get CH3COOH. This is acetic acid. Ketones are oxidized under vigorous conditions, that is by using strong oxidizing agents like acidified potassium permanganate, acidified potassium dichromate, etc. and at high temperatures. Now let us see the oxidation of ketones. KMnO4. So what carbon-carbon cleavage takes place, this we get RCH2COOH and plus RCOOH. Now let us take an example. CH3CH2CH2 C double bond more CH2CH3. So here what breaks here? Therefore we get C3H7COOH, that is butanoic acid plus CH3COOH. So here during the bond cleavage, carbon-carbon cleavage, the carbonyl group goes into such an alkyl group having more number of carbon atoms. So this we call it as Popov rule. There are some weak oxidizing agents like Tollens reagent, Fehling's solution, Benedict's reagent, etc. These are weak oxidizing agents, and these weak oxidizing agents can oxidize only aldehydes but not ketones. Therefore, reactions with these weak oxidizing agents, we can differentiate aldehydes from ketones. Now let us discuss Tollens reagent, reaction with the Tollens reagent, or we can also refer it as a Tollens test. What is Tollens reagent? Tollens reagent is ammonical silver nitrate. Ammonical silver nitrate. How do we prepare this ammonical silver nitrate? AgNO3, it is added to sodium hydroxide. Take about 1 or 2 ml of silver nitrate in a test tube and add few drops of sodium hydroxide until it develops a white precipitate. So silver nitrate plus NaOH gives silver oxide, this is white precipitate, and NaNO3 plus H2. To this mixture solution, add drops of ammonium hydroxide until the white precipitate dissolves. So here silver oxide plus ammonium hydroxide. So we get AgNH3 taken twice OH. What is this substance? This is diamine silver hydroxide. Diamine silver hydroxide is a complex substance, and this diamine silver hydroxide, a complex substance which is referred as ammonical silver nitrate, and that is Tollens reagent. And to this mixture, add a few drops of aldehyde, say acetaldehyde or any other aldehyde, and shake it well, warm it in a water bath, and silver deposits on the test tube, which is nothing but silver nitrate solution. So here RCHO plus this is a complex cation and we get RCOO double bond plus Ag, and this Ag deposits on the walls of the test tube and we get 2H2O and 4NH3. So this is Tollens reagent, Tollens test for identification of aldehydes from ketones. So Tollens reagent is a weak oxidizing agent and it can oxidize only aldehydes but not ketones. Aldehydes and ketones oxidized by using common oxidizing agents like acidified potassium permanganate, acidified potassium bichromate, nitric acid, chromium oxide, etc. Aldehydes can also be oxidized by mild oxidizing agents like Tollens reagent, Fehling solution, Benedict's reagent, etc. So these reactions can be used for distinguishing between aldehydes and ketones. Now let us carry on these reactions with the tests. Now let us discuss about Tollens reagent and Tollens test. Tollens reagent is the ammonical silver nitrate solution. How do we prepare this? Take a little amount of silver nitrate in the test tube. And to this add few drops of sodium hydroxide. See here, a white precipitate is formed. The white precipitate is silver oxide. Now, to this solution, add ammonium hydroxide drop by drop so that the precipitate dissolves. See, the precipitate is dissolving. Now what is the mixture? The solution contains diamine silver hydroxide and this is Tollens reagent. Now the precipitate is dissolving. Now let us take this upper portion of the solution into another test tube. Now this is acetaldehyde. I am adding this acetaldehyde solution a little quantity to this ammonical silver nitrate solution. Shake well. If the silver mirror is not appeared, just warm it in a water bath for some time. Gently warmed in the water bath. So you see here silver mirror is observed. So this is Tollens reagent and Tollens test. This Tollens reagent cannot oxidize ketones. Thank you. Now let us see the reaction of aldehydes with the Fehling's solution. Fehling's solution or Fehling's test. Fehling's solution is a mixture of two solutions, that is Fehling A and Fehling B. Fehling A, what is Fehling A? Aqueous copper sulfate solution. aqueous copper sulfate solution is failing here, and roachless salt. Roachless salt is failing. What is roachless salt? Sodium, potassium tartrate. A solution of sodium potassium tartrate is referred as failing P. Now, check 1 ml of each of failing A and failing B in a test tube and mix well, and to this add few drops of an aldehyde, say acetaldehyde or propanaldehyde, then warm it in a water bath, therefore we get the precipitate. Now let us see the reaction. Let us see the reaction. RCHO plus Cu2 plus, and this Cu2 plus is coming from copper sulfate and 5OH, and we get RCOO plus Cu2O. This is briquette precipitate of and of course here 3H2. So this is a failing solution. Failing solution on warming with an aldehyde, we get briquette precipitate of cuprous oxide, and this reaction is not responded by ketones, therefore this reaction is used for identification of aldehydes for ketones. Examine the reaction of aldehydes with failing solution. Failing solution is a mixture of two solutions, that is failings A, which is nothing but aqueous copper sulfate solution, and failing B is roachless salt. Roachless salt is sodium potassium tartrate. Now I am taking a little quantity of failing A into the test tube, and here failing B a little quantity, these two are added. Now this is the failing solution. To this failing solution I am adding a little quantity of acetaldehyde, now shake well. What is the result? Let us see. Here any reaction is not observed, so we heat it in a water bath. So you are able to observe the change in water bath. Now, what is observed here? Briquette precipitate of cuprous oxide. This reaction is responded by aldehydes, but not ketones. Thank you. Discuss the reaction of aldehydes with Benedict's solution. Benedict's reagent. Benedict's reagent is aqueous copper sulfate solution. Benedict's reagent is aqueous copper sulfate solution containing citrate ions. Citrate ions has a complexing agent. Now the reaction is, take 1 ml of an aldehyde in a test tube and add a few drops of Benedict's solution and shake well. We get a briquette precipitate of cuprous sulfide. If on shaking precipitate does not come, just vomit in a water bath, then the reaction results. So here RCHO plus Cu as complex, we get Cu2O briquette precipitate and oxidation products. see the reactions involving alpha hydrogen, aldol condensation. Now let us see this aldol condensation with an example. What is aldol condensation? Aldehydes and ketones having at least one alpha hydrogen undergo condensation in the presence of dilute alkali to form beta hydroxy aldehyde or ketone. So this reaction is known as aldol condensation. So let us see here CH3 C double bond OH. This is acetaldehyde plus another molecule of acetaldehyde C double bond O single bond H, and this is also acetaldehyde, and this is carbonyl group, carbonyl carbon, and this is alpha carbon. This is alpha carbon. Hydrogens present on alpha carbon are known as alpha hydrogens. Now this bond shifts here, and this hydrogen shifts here, and this carbon attacks on this carbon. Therefore, this is in the presence of dilute alkali, and we get CH3, C, this becomes OH, and this is hydrogen, CH2, C double bond O single bond H. What is this substance? Because hydroxy group is present on alpha and beta carbon, so hydroxy group is present on beta carbon, therefore this is beta hydroxyaldehyde. Beta hydroxyaldehyde, and this substance, the product in this aldol condensation is known as aldol. IUPAC name of this substance is 1, 2, 3. Hydroxy group is present on third carbon, therefore it is 3-hydroxy butanol, and this undergoes dehydration. So water is removed. How water is removed? Hydroxy group present on beta carbon and hydrogen present on alpha carbon. These two are removed as water, and therefore we get CH3CH, double bond CH, and single bond CHO. Now what is this substance? This is aldehyde, and double bond is present on second carbon, therefore this is but2-enol. This is alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde. Alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde. Now let us see an example with ketone. CH3 double bond O plus this is alpha hydrogen C double bond O single bond CH3. What is this substance? This is acetone. Bond shifts here, and this here, and this here. This is in the presence of dilute alkali. The reaction can be carried out in the presence of even dilute barium hydroxide also. Therefore, we get CH3 C. This becomes OH group, and CH3. This is CH2 double bond OCH. And here, this is carbon alpha and beta, therefore this is beta hydroxy ketone. This substance is known as ketone. The product is known as ketone. Now what is the IUPAC name for this? This is hydroxy group is present on fourth carbon, therefore this is 4-hydroxy 4-methyl pent 2-O. This is subjected to dehydration, therefore unsaturation forms between alpha and beta, therefore we get CH3C, CH3 here, double bond CH, single bond C, double bond bond CH. So what is this substance? Methyl group is present on fourth carbon atom, 4-methyl pent 3-ene-2-O. 4-methyl pent 3-ene-2-O. This is alpha beta unsaturated ketone. alpha beta unsaturated ketone. Now let us see the aldol condensation between two different molecules, that is CH3CHO plus CH3CO CH3. This is acetaldehyde, and this is acetone. In the presence of dilute NaOH. What are the substances we get? Here, unlike in the previous examination, here different combinations take place. Condensation may take place between two molecules of aldehyde. Condensation may take place between two molecules of acetone. Condensation may take place between aldehyde and acetone, and in reverse way, acetone and aldehyde. So, what are the combinations we get? Four types of different substances we get. What are those four types of different substances? When two molecules of aldehyde undergo condensation, we get CH3 COH HCH2. This is C double bond O single bond H. This is beta hydroxyaldehyde. This is one type of substance. If two ketone molecules undergo, what do we get? CH3 COH CH3 CH2 C double bond O single bond CH3. This is a beta hydroxy ketone. Okay, now if when these two reactions undergo condensation, this bond shifts from carbon to here, and of course this comes and attacks here. Therefore, we get CH3 COH H CH2 C double bond O CH3. This is, what is this substance? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is beta hydroxyaldehyde. See, this is also this is beta hydroxy ketone. This is beta hydroxy ketone and this is also beta hydroxy ketone, but both are different. Here, this substance is different from this substance. Here there is one side chain methyl group is there. Here there is no such side chain methyl group. Suppose if this substance reacts with this substance, then what do we get? This is CH3. Let us write the reaction here. CH3C double bond O CH3 plus CH2 CH2. So bond shifts here and this comes and attacks and this comes and attacks here. Therefore, what do we get? CH3COH and CH3 CH2 CH2. So what is this substance? This is 3-methyl-3-hydroxy butanol. This is also beta hydroxyaldehyde. So when we take two different substances, either one ethanol and propanol, or ethanol and acetone, or acetone and butanol. So when such two different substances are taken, we get four types of different compounds, and such a condensation, aldol condensation, is known as cross-aldol condensation. Cross-aldol condensation. Now let us see Cannizzaro reaction. Cannizzaro reaction. When aldehyde having no alpha carbon, it undergoes condensation in the presence of a concentrated alkali, and of course self-condensation takes place and we get a substance, and such a reaction we call it as Cannizzaro reaction. For example, let us see here HC double bond or single bond H. This is carbonyl carbon. There is no other carbon, that is, there is no alpha carbon. If there is no alpha carbon, there is no question of having alpha hydrogen. So, one more in the presence of 50% alkali NaOH, one molecule undergoes oxidation, one molecule undergoes reduction. So this is HCOONA, the molecule which undergoes oxidation and it forms acid salt. This is sodium formate, and other molecule undergoes reduction. This is CH3OH. So the molecule which undergoes reduction it forms alcohol, and the molecule which undergoes oxidation it forms acid salt. So such a reaction is known as Cannizzaro reaction. Let us see one more example for this Cannizzaro reaction. C6H5CHO. This is benzaldehyde. So here this is carbonyl carbon. There is no alpha carbon on this benzaldehyde. Therefore, this also undergoes Cannizzaro reaction. 50% NaOH, and we get COONA. This is sodium benzoate, and this is CH2OH, benzyl alcohol. This is benzyl alcohol. So this reaction is Cannizzaro reaction. Claisen condensation. Aromatic aldehyde reacts with an aliphatic aldehyde or an aliphatic ketone, and a condensation product is obtained, and such a reaction is known as Claisen condensation. Now let us see an example. Aromatic aldehyde, this is benzaldehyde plus this is aliphatic aldehyde. In the presence of dilute alkali, and here bond shifting takes place, and we get here COH, CH2CHO. This is beta hydroxy aldehyde. This particular substance is 3-hydroxy 3-phenyl propanol. This is subjected to dehydration. When it is subjected to dehydration, what do we get? Water is removed. CH, CH. This is CHO. This is alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde. Alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde. And here this is 3-phenyl prop 2-enol. This is commonly known as cinnamaldehyde. So this reaction is referred as Claisen condensation. Now let us take one more example. Aromatic aldehyde. In the presence of dilute alkali NaOH, this shifts here, therefore we get OH, H, CH2, C double bond O, CH. So this is 4-hydroxy 4-phenyl but 2-one. 4-hydroxy 4-phenyl but 2. This is subjected to dehydration minus water. So this is CH double bond CH C double bond O CH. So what is this substance? Long chain has 4 carbon atoms, therefore it is a but. Double bond is present on third carbon, but 2 E, but 3 E, 2 O, and phenyl group is present on fourth carbon. So this is 4-phenyl but 3 E 2 O. Now let us see another reaction, that is oxidation of methyl ketones. Methyl ketones. This is haloform reaction. Haloform reaction. So here, haloform reaction, how do we carry out? When we take methyl ketone plus NaOH plus IU2. Iodine solution means potassium iodide. Okay. So here we get CH(I3). This is iodoform, an yellow precipitate. Now let us see the reaction. So let us take acetone. To this add NaOH plus I2, CH3C double bond O, Na plus CHI. This is iodoform. Now how this reaction is carried out? Initially, sodium hydroxide plus I2 gives NaOI plus Na iodide plus H2. This sodium iodide reacts with CH3C double bond O CH3 plus NaOI. We get CH3C double bond O CI3 plus NaOH. So this is this substance further reacts with, we get CH3 C double bond O CI3 plus NaOH. We get CH3C O ONA plus CHI3. This is sodium acetate and this is iodoform, an yellow precipitate. So this reaction is referred as iodoform reaction, and this iodoform reaction is used to identify methyl ketones from other ketones.